No namers, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah, people? Hallelujah! It's time for the show with no name. It's liftoff. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is there an echo? Echo? Echo?
Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff.
Hold on tight.
Liftoff.
Agarra fuerte. It's what I tell my daughter on the roller coasters. Hold on tight. Here we go.
Get ready.
Yes.
Hold on to your
Yes.
strap
Yes.
on your seatbelt. Fasten
Yes.
your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And
hats.
get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time.
Radio.
It's the show with no name.
Let's go. That's right, amigos. It is the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, it's interactive, it's awesome. And this is a place where you make friends. Yeah. To boot. Además, to boot. Did you know this one? Pues lo voy a poner, en un double trouble. Boot es bota. Boot es el maletero para una persona del Reino Unido. And to boot is además. So you'll learn English, you'll have fun, and you'll make some friends to boot. So that's just another day here at Vaughn Radio on the show with no name. And speaking of having fun and learning with your friends, mark your calendars, April 1st, 2025. Your buddy, my buddy, our buddy Fitz from the Emerald Isle. Emerald is a kind of green. The Emerald Isle, that's Ireland. Fitz will be hosting our upcoming trivia night. I'll see you there. I should say, we'll see you there. Because all of us are going to be there, as always. Well, for several reasons. We're there to support our friends, apoyarles, to meet and have some beers and a good meal and some laughs and learning, all that stuff. But also to meet you guys. You guys are that important part. You make it all worthwhile. So join us. It's April 1st, and it's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's hosted by Fitz, the man with the plan.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's grupovaughn.com. And you know what? I was just this morning, still a week later, a week after my mom has gone back to the United States, back to the grind, la vuelta a la rutina. We're still missing her, and I'm still getting comments about that show. So if you haven't listened to that show, it's a very special show. It aired on Monday, this past Monday, so you can find it wherever you listen to the Vaughn podcasts. I highly recommend it because the reaction was all across the board is unanimously. People loved it. People loved my mother. They loved the show. And all I have to say is, oh, wow.
This is a song about my grandma, and she loves to say, oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Do you want some cheese?
Oh, no.
You're funny.
Are you serious?
Dogs.
I don't even drink.
Oh, okay.
Diana, do you want some toast?
Grandma, do you want to go to a theme park?
I'm not going in the pool. Do you have any cheese?
Grandma, do you want some cheese?
What year was that?
Grandma, please don't talk. I'm watching a movie.
Don't forget your socks.
Grandma, do you want to go to a mini disco?
Oh, okay.
Grandma, do you want some toast?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, no.
Are you serious?
Not even kidding.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Do you want some cheese?
You see, that's why I record those things, because, yeah, I can look at a picture of my mom and Lara, but listening to that brings a smile to my face. I hope it brought a smile to your face. I think hearing a grandmother and her granddaughter, her only granddaughter, joking around, having a good time, that'll brighten anyone's day. Os alegra. We say hacer más brillante. That will brighten anyone's day anywhere in the world. All right, folks, are you ready for your first challenge? All right, it's time for our pop quiz. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. ¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
That's right, folks. If you want more information about Weekend Town, Vaughan Town, even summer camps, urban camps, masters, whatever you're looking for, you can find more information at grupovaughan.com. If you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, well, then you can stop by in person and ask about any of our courses or any of our amazing materials. And speaking of materials, today we're going to listen to something from Errores Comunes en Inglés que deberías conocer. All right, so these are the big ones, the ones that you should be aware of, consciente de ellos. And we're going to do it a little bit different today. For the first time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you time to think about your pop quiz answers today. And as always, it's 3 challenges. But today, it's going to be a personal thing because we all have these mistakes that we make. It's part of the learning process. And I want you today to tell me your top 3. Okay? You can tell me what the mistake is and then use it correctly. That would be a good way to reinforce it. So you can give me 3 examples, okay? Since we're going to look at errores comunes. And since this is about learning from your mistakes, we're going to learn from your mistakes, reviewing them. If you'd like to participate, you can do that. And we're going to learn from other people's mistakes, because maybe, Laura will say, I used to make this mistake, or Born to Iron Man said, this is a mistake I used to make. I used to mix up used to and usually, for example. Okay. And then use it correctly. I'll explain it too, of course. And who knows, you might, somebody else in the group might say, es verdad. Esa es una mía. And you can add it to your list of mistakes that, hey, you're going to make them. That's part of the thing. That's why they're common mistakes. But if we're aware of them, we can avoid them. All right, so let's listen to this. It's available at vontienda.com. It's called Errores Comunes. And everybody listen up. And then you already know the challenge, but you can hold off. Think about it while you're listening to the audio.
Pista 85, error 46.
Ring, ring. Hi, John. I'm Rita. No. Ring, ring. Hi, John. It's Rita.
Hola, soy yo.
Hi, it's me.
Soy Elena. ¿Está Megan?
This is Elena. Is Megan there?
Hola, soy tu madre. ¿Te acuerdas de mí?
Hi, it's your mother. Remember me.
Soy Eva 10. ¿Podría hablar con Dan Cove, por favor?
This is Ava Diaz. Could I speak with Dan Cove, please?
Hola, soy Sam. ¿Está Wayne en casa?
Hi, it's Sam. Is Wayne home?
Somos nosotros.
It's us.
Son ellos otra vez.
Oh, it's them again.
No es la policía, soy yo.
It's not the police. It's me.
Es tu jefe, quiere hablar contigo.
It's your boss. He wants to talk to you.
Es Bob. ¿Te puedes poner?
It's Bob. Can you come to the phone?
Pista 86. Error 47.
They were talking during 2 hours. No, they were talking for 2 hours.
Han estado esperando durante horas.
They've been waiting for hours.
Estuve practicando durante años.
I was practicing for years.
Hay que andar durante unos 10 minutos.
You have to walk for about 10 minutes.
¿He dormido durante 13 horas?
Did I sleep for 13 hours?
Bate los huevos durante unos minutos.
Beat the eggs for a couple of minutes.
Deja la masa en la nevera durante 1 hora.
Leave the dough in the fridge for an hour.
Corrió durante 3 días.
He ran for 3 days.
Estuvimos 3 horas comiendo.
We were eating for 3 hours.
Estuvo lloviendo durante meses.
It was raining for months.
Estuve allí sentada durante un rato.
I sat there for a while.
Pista 87. Error 48.
She's Spanish as me? No, she's Spanish like me.
Ojalá supiera yo cocinar como mi abuela.
I wish I could cook like my grandma.
Las gallinas pueden volar como...
When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Fue como volver a nacer.
It was like being born again.
Mi hermano conduce como mi padre.
My brother drives like my dad.
Sarah es alérgica a los cacahuetes, como yo.
Sarah's allergic to peanuts, like me.
¿Tienen a alguien como él?
Do they have someone like him?
Corre como el viento.
Run like the wind.
Tenemos que jugar más como ellas.
We need to play more like them.
Mi hermana es igualita que mi madre.
My sister is just like my mum.
Pista 88. Error 49.
He's here for to see you. No, he's here to see you.
Están aquí para quedarse.
They're here to stay.
Hacen falta las 2 manos para agarrarlo.
You need both hands to grab it.
¿Vas a usar este color para pintar la pared?
Are you using this color to paint the wall?
Fuimos a Roma para ver el Coliseo.
We went to Rome to see the Colosseum.
Kelly no compró la casa para vivir en ella.
Kelly didn't buy the house to live in it.
Necesito dinero para pagar los cafés.
I need some money to pay for the coffees.
Se sentaron para estar más cómodos.
They sat down to be more comfortable.
Blake salió para la basura.
Blake went out to take the garbage out.
Se levantó para cantar su canción.
He stood up to sing his song.
Nací para hablar inglés.
I was born to speak English.
Were you born to speak English? Well, if you get errores comunes, not only can you hear those common mistakes, and be honest, I imagine some of the ones we just heard, which we're going to go over in just a second, those are your mistakes too, or were at one time. Why? Because some of them are just literal translations. So, lo lógico es decir, pues en español se dice así, pues en inglés así. Pero you and I both know it doesn't work like that. In fact, the biggest mistakes, the most common, as I call them, the world's most wanted mistakes, come from that. From, I have 30 years. Okay, I cut some years off. He has 30 years. No, he's 30 or he's 30 years old, but it's never he has 30 or he has 30 years. And while we're at it, we don't say he's 30 years. No, tampoco. O sea, you've got two options. He's 30 y paramos, or he's 30 years old, pero no nos podemos quedar a la mitad. So I've heard that a million times. My brother's 30 years. I'm like, bueno, el is, ha usado el verbo correcto en vez de have. Pero, o quitas una palabra o añades. It's up to you. So there, you can jot that one down. Remember, give me 3 mistakes today. Again, ones that you can even use this as inspiration. I can tell you some right off the top of my head without even thinking, okay? El de quién, whose. It's really confusing. Whose. Also, how long does it take, right? Another one I've heard a lot of people make. I have for breakfast toast. What? No, I have toast for breakfast. So that's a common thing that you say. Desayuné, cené. But the order, people get the order wrong. Lo mismo con, it takes me 30 minutes. No, it takes for me to get to work 30 minutes or something. No, el orden mal. So we would say, it takes me 20 minutes to get to work. El error muchas veces, it takes to me. Y ese to no sobra, right? Another one, let me to. No, let me. That's a really common mistake. So tell us yours. Oh, and the number one mistake. Let's see if you guys know it. The number one mistake. I'm going to give you 3 seconds right now to guess it. Did you say people is? That's the one. That's the one that makes our ears bleed. And let me tell you something. There's another one with people too. It's the wrong form of the verb. So I've heard people say people wants. No, they want, right? They want better wages, not they wants. O sea, so I've heard the mistake the other way. No solo people is en vez de people are, pero poner people como tercera persona. Y no lo es. Es they, ellos. Es plural en inglés. De ahí viene la confusión de people is, people are. De hecho, you know what I used to say when I was younger? La gente son. Of course. So I feel your pain with the mistakes. But I also feel like once you know them, you can work on them and you can eliminate them. And that's what we're here to do today and every day. So every time you speak English, you not only make fewer mistakes, but you feel more confident. Because you're like, oh, I know that. Yeah, I know how to say that. I know that. You feel confident. And that's when you can, be yourself. That's when your sense of humor comes out. That's when, the reason people love you, the reason your friends love you and call you and invite you places comes out. And you're not just like the guy who's like, I want robotic, give me. I mean, that's the goal, right? The goal is, okay, not just to say 5 words in English and just stutter, tartamudear. And hey, people get nervous speaking their own language. I get it. It's not. It's easier said than done. Entre el dicho y el hecho hay un trecho, you say. So we're going to take a look right now at some of your most common ones, but I've just given you off the top of my head, a bote pronto, off the top of my head. ¿Y sabes cómo aprendí a bote pronto? By saying it over and over and over. I read it once or twice, and then I just started using it. And you know what? I even made a mistake. I used to say a brote pronto. Yeah, that's right. But you learn from your mistakes. That's the theme today. That's the theme every day. I remember one time we were talking about the game too, Battleship, ¿no? El B3, B3. Ah, sí, me has dado al barco, a la nave, right? And I called it hundir la flauta. And people told me that sounded like a different kind of game. And then, of course, I kept saying, no, flauta, flute, flota is fleet. See, but I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't put my foot in my mouth, if I hadn't screwed it up. Vocabulario que vimos ayer. But you've got to screw up when you're learning a language in order to know that you're screwing up so you can avoid screwing up. You catch my drift? So that's a very common one. So write this one down. Let's review the ones from the audio as well. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? Not who are you. Who are you? Es ya cuando le ves la cara. Who are you? I'm not familiar. I don't know who you are. But who is it at the door? But we don't say at the door. Who is it? That's also on the phone. Hello, who is it? Who's calling? No, pero lo bueno de who is it vale para todos. Y se dice who is it or who is it? Who is it? Dilo conmigo. Como frase hecha, se dice 1000 veces teléfono. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, it's a guy I work with. Who is it? Pick it up. Open the door. Who is it? It's me. It's Paco. It's them. Son ellos. Right? But we don't say soy Paco. I'm Paco. Right? I'm Paco. Because you don't say, who are you? Now, the moment you see him and you say, hey, who are you? I don't think we've met. Well, my name's Paco. It's Paco. You can say, it's Paco. You can say, I'm Paco there. But it's still not as common as, it's Paco. I'm a friend of, right? So that's a confusing one. Another one, and I've heard this one from all levels. I've worked, first two mistakes. I live in Spain during 20 years. No, I've lived, presente perfecto, porque empezó en el pasado y sigue. I've lived in Spain for, not during, como hemos oído en el audio, over 20 years now. So write this down. Here's a good little trick as well. For duración. Pon el mismo ejemplo. I've lived in Spain. I've been learning English for 20 years. I've been learning English, excuse me, I can't even speak it, since, no science, ese es otro, la pronunciación, since fecha de comienzo. So 1995, whatever, make it up. But that'll help you separate that. And during is a word. It's durante, but he was looking at his phone during dinner, during the game, mientras pasaba otra cosa. Okay? We also looked at like over there. What's the difference between like and as? Really simple. Write it down. I work like a slave, comparación, right? He looks like his brother, comparison. I work like a slave. I work as a teacher. I work as a radio presenter, right? As is es mi función. Like is a comparison. But if you remember those two, and I credit that to Richard Vaughan, those are his. I remember it was easy because Richard Vaughan has that in the student manual, which you can pick up also at the Vaughan Tienda. And never, ever, ever say for, to. Those two words don't go together. I came here to eat. No, I came here to eat. Okay? La expresión que se me ocurre. I came here to eat you out of house and home. O sea, vaciarte la nevera. Hey, we all have friends or family members who they come over. I don't want to say any names. My daughter has some friends who come over sometimes. And I don't want to say it here, but I wonder if these kids are fed, si les alimentan, because they come over here And they literally, y aquí usamos la expresión, they literally eat us out of house and home. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. We're going to come back and we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite. We've got to give it 2 listens. I don't think it'll be too tough today. Yesterday was a tough one. Then we're going to take a look at your pop quiz answers. That's right. Really important because we're going to learn from everybody's mistakes today. I mean, I'm even telling you my mistakes when I was learning and continue to learn Spanish. But that's part of the process. It's what makes it fun. Folks, we'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's Show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, Show with No Namers. And a very special round of applause to Anix, Laura, Marisol, Nuria, Open Waters, Paco, and Chris Valrol. They have all participated in our question of the week, and we're going to hear from them a little bit later on in today's show. I don't know about you folks, but I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Yeah, I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. It's hard to sync it with this rhythm. Oh my God. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Hey, I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Oh, I like it. Yeah. Learning from music. I know we've got a lot of music and movie lovers in the house. That's why we always learn from music and movies in every episode. A little bit of history, a little bit of pop culture, and lots of challenges. That's the Show with No Name, your wacky English class. Wacky? Chiflado. Yeah, I know I'm not normal. That's fine. I've come to grips with it. Lo he aceptado. I have come to grips with it. All right, amigos, let's rock and roll with today's Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, folks. Today's Say What soundbite, and yesterday's was a bit hellish. But don't worry, I think today's it's going to be quite easy, especially because I can give you a little clue. This communication is happening on a global level. So it's not just an interview that's going to be seen on one channel, but it's big news globally. So it's got to be communicated to a lot of different countries. So therefore, I think, in my opinion, and I think for the sake of them being understood, this is pretty cut and dry. Cut and dry. Es lo que es. And I don't think you should have much difficulty, but we'll see. You never know. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Once upon a time, a master storyteller, Walt Disney, inspired by Europe's best-loved tales, used his own special gifts to share them with the world. He envisioned a magic kingdom where these stories would come to life and called it Disneyland.
All right, the context is very clear, right? Okay. I mean, like I said, sometimes in an interview, people are just being themselves. Oh, yeah, and then we went over there, blah, 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 and there's the ums and the, but this guy, again, there are cameras from all around the world, a lot of press there, mucha prensa. The whole world is watching or will at least be seeing part of that speech. So it had to be clear, not really, heavy vocabulary, something that somebody, maybe from Holland or other parts of Europe where they speak English, as a second language, they should be able to follow along. All right. Again, I think it's easy. The context, you might not know who it is, but I think you know what's going down. ¿Qué ocurre? All right, let me give it to you a second time, and then we can discuss it.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Once upon a time, a master storyteller, Walt Disney, inspired by Europe's best-loved tales, used his own special gifts to share them with the world. He envisioned a magic kingdom where these stories would come to life and called it Disneyland.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. píllatelo. Vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit, my latest book, but we're not looking at that book today. Today, we were taking a look at something from Errores Comunes in English. It's available at Von Tienda for $9.95. Are you serious? You can sort out all your mistakes for under 10 euros, and it comes with audio, as you heard. It's available at Von Tienda. And as I read your comments over here, I'm seeing that a lot of you have one thing in common, one thing that you loathe. To loathe is detestar. Prepositions. Well, I just shared a link with you in the group, and you can also sort that problem out as well with preposiciones en inglés que deberías conocer. What's the difference between on, in, at, around, over, above, right? And then when it's the non-literal sense, when we're talking about phrasal verbs and things like that, then it just doesn't make sense. So this book makes it make sense. It also comes with audio. So 2 books I recommend to tackle some of the most common mistakes. Errores comunes en inglés, and that is for $9.95, and also preposiciones en inglés, also $9.95, and they're both available at vontienda.com. All right, let's see what we've got over here. We've got a lot of people participating. Thank you to all of you for your participation, not just today, but daily. And we appreciate it when people ask you, why the hell do you speak English so well? How did you understand what he just said? Well, I do the Say What soundbite. I listen to Vaughn Radio. Let them know. Let them know. Shout it from the mountaintops. Oh, yeah. All right, there's Elena. What's up, Elena? Rocking and rolling, starting off our roll call. A roll call. Ooh, that's a good name for it. A rock and roll call. Creo que acabamos I think we just registered a trademark there. We got to do our rock and roll call. Do you get it? Rock and roll. And rocking, es que mola, roll call. Roll call is when you're like, Elena, here, open waters, present, Susie, here, right? You like the name? Rock and roll call? I think, guys, we just had a moment of brilliance there together. Hey, you inspired it. If you didn't check in, si no ficharais, well then, I wouldn't do this rock and roll call. All right, Elena is leading our rock and roll call, and she says, good morning, teacher and mates. We're up for a great show, so let's get cracking. There's a totally native. Let's get cracking. Let's get cracking as vámonos, pongámonos en marcha, marcha, queremos marcha, marcha. There's open waters. Good morning, friends. What's shaking? Are you serious? 2 comments and 2 totally natives. Whoa, we are on fire. Great. What's shaking? I love that one. Very, very natives. Speaking of native, we've got Susie. She lives in Spain. She's from England. She is awesome. Suzanne, what's up? What an honor to have you here with us. And she says, good morning, AA. It's Suzanne. I'm on my Mac this morning, so I thought I'd just pop in to say hi. Awesome, Suzanne. Totally native for you to pop in. I know you're a native speaker, so it doesn't count. But that's 3 comments and 3 totally natives. Let's see. There's Chris Valrol checking in, fichando. She says, morning show with no-namers. We're going to learn English and have a blast to boot. Además. There's another totally native. And I know I just said it, but Chris, that's exactly when you should use it, when it's fresh. So we're going to have a blast to boot. Además, I love it. To boot. Well, you can expect to see it because I wrote it down. You'll expect it in an upcoming Double Trouble. Who knows, even Triple Trouble, because as I said, it's got several meanings. So beware. You've been warned. Avisados estáis. All right, let's see. Good morning to Born to Iron Man. He says, good morning, pals. Let's boot up your gadgets and come into the show. Another boot up. Arrancar como un ordenador. To boot it up. There's another use of the word boot. Oh my goodness. How many totally natives? This is crazy. Are we breaking records here? Carl Guinness. Tell him to bring some pints. Yeah, I don't mean about the record. I mean, tell him to deliver some pints. In fact, this summer when I was in Dublin, I remember we were taking a ride down the river on one of those boat tours. Yes, I know I'm a tourist. I even look like a tourist. So we were taking a ride down the river on one of those boat tours, and a couple Guinness trucks drove by. And the guy who was doing the tour, lovely guy, he was really funny. What a great crack, as they say. Great crack means buen rollo, right? Muchas risas, buen rollo. Great crack. And he said, you know what we call the Guinness trucks here? They're called Irish ambulances. I thought it was one of the funniest things I ever heard. I highly recommend it. I don't remember the name of the river tour, but I could tell you guys the truth. I went to Dublin for the weekend with a friend, and I wanted to avoid being stuck in a bar all day because I want to see Dublin. I don't want to be like, yeah, I drank 50 Guinness in the corner of a bar that smelled like, mildew. Mildew, lo que se acumula en la ducha cuando no lo limpias, ¿no? Mildew, como cuando está mojado. A ver, let's take a look at mildew. It's that stuff that you don't want there. Mildew. Mildew. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, something that, so it had that kind of smell sometimes. Oh, bars, people, there's alcohol. Anyhow. So I said, I want to have a lot of plans. So we're not, okay, let's have a pint or two and then we're off. We have to do a whiskey tasting. What? Wait a second. Are you kidding me? So I'm trying to stay out of a bar, so I organize a whiskey tasting at Jameson? Okay, but you don't get drunk there. Well, you don't have to. They do give you a drink when you come in, and then you sip different whiskeys at the end. But we didn't get drunk there. Needless to say, that wasn't the idea. The idea was to learn. It was actually fascinating. I'm not even a whiskey drinker. I don't drink hard liquor, and it was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating. So I recommend that, the Jameson tour, because you'll learn even about the history of Ireland, the whiskey wars, the Irish versus the Scottish versus now the Japanese are in there, Americans. We have our own whiskeys as well. So really, really fascinating. And take the boat tour. Okay. We had a great tour guide, and it was not just interesting. It was entertaining. Hey, wait. Sounds kind of like what we do here at Vaughn Radio. All right, there's Laura. What's up, Laura? She says, good morning, lovely show with no-namers. Let's brighten our day together. I agree. Welcome aboard, Laura. All right, here's Elena. Elena says, my top ones was more a question of pronunciation. Okay. It was comma versus coma. Oh, okay. Hey, I can see that. So comma, comedian. No, that's karma. Is there a comma after the word karma or Radiohead? Karma police. Arrest this man. He talks too much. He buzzes like a fridge. All right, folks. You can tell that we are rocking and rolling today. So yes, vamos a aclararlo. Karma, que algunos a lo mejor ingleses dirían comma. It's about comma, mate. But the punctuation is comma. Comma, con dos M's. And a coma is something that unfortunately can happen to you if you're in a coma. Also a Guns N' Roses song. Let's see. When I dictated something to my American niece, she just cracked up. Se partió. And the old, me encanta esto, ¿eh? And the old, el de toda la vida quiere decir, no que es vieja. And the old beach versus bitch. Oh, yeah, that beach and that bitch. Oh, man. Oh, and sheet and shit, right? Oh man. Hey, Elena, at least you're aware of it and you don't go around calling playas perras. Elena also says, and we're 6 for dinner instead of there are 6 of us for dinner. Yeah, ese we are 7 on my team. No, there are 7 of us on my team. Okay? Now, with dinner, I've got a way around it. Tengo una forma que no tienes que usarlo. You can say, party of 4, please. Okay? Instead of there are 4 of us, party of 4. O sea, somos 4. That's specifically for restaurants, though. No, ya cuando hablas somos 4, son 8 en su equipo, then you have to use there are 8 of them on that team, right? En ese equipo. So great, Elena, wonderful ones, and they're all very common. So don't feel bad, and it's wonderful that you are A, aware of them, and B, I hope, you don't make them anymore as well. Let's see, Laura, there's Laura. She says, what is she like versus what does she look like? Oh, yeah, that's a big one. And how is she? Porque en español, claro, yo me acuerdo gente me decía, how is Richard Vaughn? I said, he's fine. No, y luego señalan su cara. No, but how is he? I'm like, yeah, great. He's fine. Doing his radio show. He's doing really well. Thanks for asking. How are you? O sea, how is he? Pues yo te lo devuelvo. How are you? ¿Y qué es la respuesta? I'm fine. Right? So no es como, eso es cómo estás, no cómo eres. ¿Cómo eres físicamente? What do you look like? Y no se responde con I look like. Se responde con, well, I have brown hair, blue eyes, right? I have a grayish beard, right? And what are you like? What are you like? ¿Cómo eres personalidad? What are you like? Well, I'm funny. I'm lighthearted. Me gusta reírme, no tomo las cosas muy serio, right? The older I get, the less I do, right? So great, Laura. Those are one. So 3 questions. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. How about you? Number 2, what does he? Vamos a cambiarlo a tercera persona. What does he look like? He has long hair and he has a long beard. Okay? And what is he like? He's charming, funny, and stingy. Tacaño. Again, it's about your personality there. Great. Laura says, also, we are 3 instead of there are 3 of us, or we are a party of 3. Excellent, Laura. Excellent. So that's a common one we just saw with Elena and Laura. That one they both had in common. And of course, whose is this book instead of whose book is this? That's right. So apunta esta porque esta es muy, 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 muy común. Siempre cuando hay una duda, ponlo en lo más sencillo posible. En presente. Right? Whose book is it? Ya está. Ahora ponlo en plural. Whose books are they? Bien. Ponlo en pregunta. Ponlo en respuesta. O no, vamos a ponerlo en pasado. Pasado singular. Whose book was it? En plural. Whose books were they? So again, if you have the easiest one, then you can always figure out, okay, pues es was, tiene que ser were, y con they. En vez de it is, que es el presente, right? El singular. All right, so great, excellent. These are really common. It's whose, lo que sea, whose, lo que sea, is it. All right, excellent. Open Water says, one of my struggles with English are the prepositions. I mean, the prepositions that go with each verb. For example, his bad habits are eating away at his health. That at. Oh, yeah, prepositions. Well, prepositions are not easy, and there's not one simple explanation. that'll help you with all of them, sadly. But as I said, and as I shared the link, Vaughn has a material about preposiciones. I highly recommend it. It's called Preposiciones en Inglés que deberías conocer, available for under $10. So, Open Waters, you are not alone. Laura agrees. Let's see, Chris. Chris says, aside from pronunciation ones, people is, people are, plus the verb, and prepositions. When I was at university, when I was in university, for instance, and sometimes I forget the to with listen. Well, these are really common. And again, in university, at university, right? It depends on the situation because it's not even the same, right? You're on a boat, but you're in the car. So you're like, yeah, but shouldn't there, it's transport. It should all be the same. It isn't. It isn't. So there's no hard, fast rule, I should say there. And the way I recommend you practice listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Just sing it over and over until you never say listen without to. Unless you're just saying listen. Pero ahí ya añades up para sonar totally native. Listen up. So great job, Chris. Those are big ones there. Those are, what's the difference? And it depends. It depends on what we're talking about. Chris says, sometimes I doubt with the order of some structures. I can't think of any right now. Well, the who's. People say, whose the car is it? Or whose is it the car, right? Or the order, as I said before. I have toast. No, I have for breakfast. Es que no puedo decirlo mal. I have for breakfast toast. I have toast for breakfast. I have lasagna for lunch. I have chicken breast, filete de pollo for dinner, right? Siempre va la comida en medio. So that could be one of the ones you're referring to, Chris. Elena said, oh man, it's the prepositions. I know it, guys. Prepositions make you want to pull out your hair and scream from the top of your lungs, but don't worry, we've got you covered. I shared the link. It's Preposiciones en Inglés que deberías conocer. It comes with audio like many of our materials. Amigos, we have got to go to a quick commercial break right now. We've got a lot of stuff to do when we come back. We're going to come back and take a look at today's homophones. Then we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite and also hear your takes on what we heard. After that, we've got our spelling bee. And we've got question of the week, where we're going to hear from our amigos. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. Don't forget, after today's show, stay tuned. You've got us on the Vaughn Radio app. If we're not on the air in your city, you can always listen to us on the Vaughn Radio app. And if you stay tuned, well, right up after this show, you've got Test Your English with Jimena Holiday. I highly recommend it. Well, because I know you guys. I know you love a good challenge or two. And Jimena's got tons of challenges. Another teacher that loves challenging his students with little games and quizzes, Kyle Miller. Tune in to Kyle Miller's show, Drive Time, every day on your commute home. It's a great time to be challenged And Kyle will work on the most common structures, the most common mistakes. And, of course, all while playing, having fun, sharing, a little bit of storytelling. And Kyle can teach you a lot, too, because he's got an MBA. He's got a master's in business. And that's awesome. He's got a lot of insight, mucho conocimiento. It's not just English. And again, that's what I think I say very often here. Vaughn Radio is not just going to teach you English. You'll learn about all different cultures, pop culture, as you do on this show. Hot topics, temas candentes. Is that what you say? Hot topics that you'll get with Rob Grams on the Probo show. And we've even got a wellness show. Yeah, a show that helps you with wellness. But I can't remember the name of it right now. It's something like...
Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, he's back. Tell a friend. Yes, it's back. 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 Yes, it's back.
That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio.
That's right, folks. That's right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's kick off this part of the show with today's homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right. It's homophones here on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got. Let's see if you're familiar with these words, and if you know exactly how they are pronounced. The first word is miedo. Miedo. También es temer. So to be afraid, it's a synonym for being afraid of something. Okay? I'm sure you've heard the word before. There's a famous movie with Robert De Niro, Cabo, and Juliette Lewis, Cabo del Miedo. Do you call it the same? Pues es el título de esa película. So I think it's a pretty common word and you should be familiar with. Again, it's temer. I think you say temer. It's also miedo. Okay? And the second word is abeto. How a little kid says my name. Abeto. Abeto. No, it's a kind of tree. Now, this second word is not as common, but I want to know if you know it. I know you'll know the first one. Do you know the second one? Do you know if they sound exactly the same? Well, let us know over here in the comments. Also, I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite. Here you go. You've got it for the third time. I expect a few of you to be able to get it today because I think it's quite easy. Here it is, the Say What soundbite for the third time.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Once upon a time, a master storyteller, Walt Disney, inspired by Europe's best-loved tales, used his own special gifts to share them with the world. He envisioned a magic kingdom where these stories would come to life and called it Disneyland.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions.
There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town. Lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. That's right, amigos, Vaughan Town. Also, remember now you've got Weekend Town as well, and you can get all that information over at grupovon.com. If you've never stopped by our website, take a look around. I think, in fact, there were some changes recently, and they're always updating, the homepage and everything with things that we want you to know about, new things that we've got going on, special offers, events, open houses. You say puertas abiertas, we say casa abierta, an open house. So make sure you're following us on social media and check out our website. If you haven't, it's grupovon.com. All right, let's take a look. We've got a lot of participation. Let's see where we left off. ¿Dónde lo dejamos? All right, we're talking about the Say What soundbite over here. And Open Waters says, I heard an American giving a speech. Yes. Not sure if he is a politician. He thinks he is, and he does the same thing as politicians, but he's not, because he is talking about a storyteller, un cuentacuentos, and how he is inspired by the tales from the people. All right, great job. Let me get you that applause over there. Good job. Elena says, an old excerpt of an American spokesperson, buena palabra, portavoz, welcoming people to a renowned theme park created by a master storyteller. That's right, a theme park. And it wasn't too long. Well, yeah, I guess it was. I think, what was it, 1992, maybe? It was, I can tell you where the speech is taking place. In Chessy. Chessy? I don't know if you pronounce it like that. Chessy? Chessy. Yeah, Chessy in Marne-de-Laval. Marne-de-Laval. Valais. Oh, no. Sorry, French friends. I'm trying to say Disneyland Paris. Or, sorry, Disneyland Paris. Oh, man. So, yes, it's opening day. I'm sure many of you have figured it out. It's from the context. It's opening day of Disneyland Paris. All right. So yeah, it's old, but I guess it makes me feel really old thinking that's a long time ago, but it actually was a long time ago. All right. Chris Valrol says, I heard an American man who is welcoming an audience and explaining as if it were a tale how he imagined a magical kingdom that became a theme park. Absolutely. Laura, I heard an excerpt from the inauguration ceremony, absolutely, of a world-famous theme park, a magic kingdom where magic comes to life. Absolutely. And it's funny because he's kind of playing with words there. Okay, Disneyland, the original one, the first park, the one that was opened by Walt himself, is in where? Where is Disneyland? The answer is in the word. Disneyland, L.A., Burbank. Well, it's in California. What part of California is it? Either way, it's in California. You fly to Los Angeles. So it's easy. Disneyland, L.A. is in there. And what about Disney World? Well, Disney World is in Orlando. O-R-L is Orlando. Did you know that? All right. But it's interesting because the Magic Kingdom was the first park in Orlando. Okay, that was like that's the castle park, as they call it. But the one in Paris was not called the Magic Kingdom. So he said he was promoting another park in there. He said he imagined a Magic Kingdom. Go visit Orlando. Where magic comes to life, and Disneyland is the one. Now, the one in Paris, they changed the name. It used to be Euro Disney, And it was actually a cultural thing why they changed it. I read up on this. As you know, I'm a Disney nerd. In fact, we're going next week. We found a pretty good deal, and we're taking my daughter for the second time. Lucky kid. Also, daddy loves it too. So that's a good excuse. And mommy too. We all have fun. Who doesn't have fun at Disney? So then Euro Disney, sure, for an American, Euro sounds like, wow, Euro. It's, high scale, upscale, excuse me. It's swanky. It's Euro. This is a European, it sounds like, whoa, like Lamborghini, this kind, but for you guys, it sounds like a currency, una moneda. Euro Disney. You don't want to be, come here, dollar Disney. Oh, whoa. O sea, entonces, it was a cultural thing. They said, this is not working. And the park was a failure. Okay, the numbers, they did not hit their numbers for a long time until Space Mountain opened. De Terre de la Lune or something. I think there's my French again. And that changed the fate of the park, el destino. Right, it changed the fate of the park forever. But it was a flop at first. And now the new name is Disneyland Paris. And the park, I don't remember, the other park is called Disney Studios, the second gate, as it's called, which is not really, doesn't have a lot of stuff. It doesn't. And now it's being refurbished and it's being renamed. And it's going to be called Disney's Adventure, something like that. And they're going to have frozen. So it's going to change. They're investing a lot of money into that second gate now, that park that used to be called, well, still is, Disney Studios. And I think, honestly, I have a hunch why we got such a good deal, because it included flights. I mean, I was like, what? We're basically going to the parks for free, at that price. And I'm thinking, why? If it's cold in Madrid in March, let's not talk about Paris. And it rains a lot more there too. So the chances of it being cold and rainy are very high. And also half of the park, the one that I said, Disney Studios, is closed because it's, there are construction walls everywhere. So I guess that's where the discount came from. But hey, we're going to have fun either way. I don't know who's going to have more fun, Lara or my inner child. All right, let's see. So yes, Laura, you got it. Elena, ladies and gentlemen, Elena nailed it. Excellent. Let's see. Chris Valrol says songs are really useful. I think one of the problems is when you are speaking and tend to think in Spanish. You screw it up for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, Chris. Anytime, not only thinking, let's say you're talking to, your best friend, and you're thinking about your shopping list, your grocery list. Necesitamos pan, leche, también. Are you going to be listening to your friend? So anything that takes you out of the moment, whether it's thinking in Spanish, which is a natural thing, or thinking about something else, makes you not present. And so as long as we're aware of that, then we can work around it. Let's see. Chris also says the same happens to me now with Spanish. I make mistakes because I think in English. Voy a ordenar algo de comer, for instance. I love it, Chris. All right, Laura says, people are people, so what should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. That's right, Depeche Mode. All right, let's take a look at our homophones or not. Born to Iron Man's the first one to participate. And he says they do not sound alike. Those are the correct words. Elena agrees. Chris agrees. All right. Laura says the same. She says that they do not sound the same. Well, let me just say both words. Okay. Voy a decir, no temes el abeto. Don't fear the fur. Don't fear the fur. Excellent job. Show with no namers. Now, I'm going to give you a second part here. So fear doesn't have another homophone that I can think of. Maybe it does, but not a common word. The word fur, F-I-R, as we said, it's abeto. The word fur does have a homophone. Do you know which one it is? What other word sounds like fur? So if I don't say it, because fear, easy. Fear is la I latina. It's not too hard. But fur, oh, look at that. There's a field full of furs. Si no pongo contexto y solo digo la palabra fur, what other word sounds like that? So I've added a little extra challenge there for you today. All right, let's see. Laura also got today's Say What soundbite. Great job, Laura. And Open Waters, Elena, and Born to Iron Man, absolutely. So the word fur, F-U-R, que es pelo, pelaje, right? Oh, look, the cat, look at the cat's fur. He's furry, eso es el adjetivo. So it's pelo, pelaje, fur, okay? It's also the piel. You know these mink people wear around their necks? They're soft. It's not like leather. Leather es piel de una chupa, de una chaqueta de esas como los de Grease. Fur es el que es como un gato, same. It's really soft. So fur, F-U-R, sounds like fir, F-I-R, which is a kind of wood, which is a kind of tree. And another one? Okay, it's not spelled. If you just say the word by itself, okay, you say for, okay? I'm all for freedom of speech, apoyo. I'm all for. Pero si yo lo digo rápido, I say I'm all for fur. So el for, F-O-R, cuando está en medio de una frase, a veces no paramos de decir, I'm looking for my keys. El for no es importante. So escúchalo. I'm looking for, me como la G porque soy americano. I'm looking for my keys. I'm looking for my fur. What, your tree? No, my fur. I've got a nice fur. It's made out of fox. We're always playing with words here on the show with no name. Excellent job, amigos. But right now, it is time for the question of the week.
Question of the week.
All right, question of the week. And again, folks, thank you so much for participating. It is very admirable that, let's see, 7 people. There are 7 people that decided that it's a priority, it's important to practice their speaking. So I applaud you, regardless of if you made a little mistake here or not, you're on the right track. Let's start off with Anix.
Hey there, Anix here. I'm going on a trip down memory lane to answer this question because it was in 2010. It wasn't maybe the best concert I ever been to, but it was the last one. And after that, it was a huge change in my life. And I remember it as a special time because I went with a couple of friends, with my ex-boyfriend, and we had a great time. I remember yelling, jumping, making the most of it, and had a great time, as I said. And that's it. Bye-bye, guys.
These are the times you remember, 'cause they will not last forever. These are the days you hold on to, though you will and though you want to. You know that song? Oh, wow. These are the times to remember. It's a song that makes me cry every time I hear it. It reminds me of memories. And that, you know what? You just said it, Anix. What is it about? Well, first you said I'm taking a trip down memory lane. It's one of my core memories, right? It doesn't even matter who the band was. I remembered the time in my life. I remembered that the music was just the soundtrack. It was the people around me. And that's awesome. Laughing, jumping, yelling, feeling alive. And that's what it's all about. It's about the company. Anix, wonderful job. Just be careful with the pronunciation of the word huge. Okay, un poco más en la G ahí, but excellent job. And I think you were great. It was concise. You got to the point, and I couldn't agree more. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from lovely Laura.
Hey there, it's Laura. I haven't been to that many concerts in my life. Off the top of my head, I'd say that I've been to 6 or 7. I do like music and I also like singing and dancing, but I don't like big crowds, so maybe that's the reason why. However, the best concert I've ever been to was in London, in the Royal Albert Hall, where many famous artists perform. It was 12 years ago, but I still remember it as if it was yesterday. And I can say it was the best concert I've ever been to because my children were the performers. The school they were going to at the time got together with some other schools to sing there, and they featured songs of renowned artists. It was a memorable moment, the splendor of the venue, the setup, the young artists, and I still get all emotional every time I watch the videos of the concert. Bye, everyone.
I'm getting choked up over here. I'm feeling your emotion. Me emociono yo. I'm getting choked up. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Yesterday, Laura, when we were talking about Pink Floyd, I said the Pulse concert. It was recorded at the Royal Albert Hall. So, and I was at that concert, not that gig, not that venue, but that tour, right? So if you want to see that, it's great. And I can't believe your kids graced the stage, honraron ese escenario, the Royal Albert Hall. And another thing, Laura has pointed out, it's about the memories. It's about the sound in the air, the smell, the people you were with. It's the whole experience. The music is just the reason to come together. When I think of, for example, Def Leppard and Motley Crue, there was one night in my life last summer. Was it last summer or the summer? I'm horrible with that shit, but I'll never forget the memory. Maybe it's a year later, a year sooner. I'm really bad at that. But I will never forget singing, pour some sugar on me, ow, in the name of love, pour some, with Fitz, with Kyle Miller, with Rob Grams, with Andy Vaughn at the top of our lungs. Okay. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget, the buzz going over there, afterwards when we were all like bent out of shape because we had been, rocking and rolling all day. We traveled back to 1990 that night. And it was like going in a time machine. And do I remember all the songs? No. Do I remember what time it started? Do I remember if it was a little colder, a little warmer that day? I have no idea. I just know everything was perfect. Did I wait a long time? Did we wait a long time to get in? No, I don't remember being like, oh, wow, that was, because sometimes it's out of your hands. The organization, hey, Laura mentioned it. Concerts aren't for everyone. The older I get, the fewer concerts. I'm much more selective. A, they've become very expensive. And B, I don't like big crowds either. That's why the older I get, I used to want to be on the floor, right? Quería estar en la pista. And now I want my own seat. If I want to stand up, I can stand up and I can rock out and I can dance. But I want to sit down. I want to have my own seat, my own space, more than some place to sit. And so I feel you there. There were even concerts that Diana and I had tickets, and it was a Tuesday night. I think it was the Arctic Monkeys. And we were both exhausted, as parents, as people who were, you're tired at 8 p.m. You're like, fuck the world. I'm tired. FTW. And we almost thought, should we give it a miss? But my sister-in-law was coming over to take care of Lara, and we went to the concert, and it was like we got an energy boost. It was a date night. It was one of the greatest concerts ever. Was the concert amazing and the sound and the songs were perfect? I don't know, but it felt that way. It felt that way, and we almost didn't go. So thank you so much for your contributions. We're going to listen to more students when we come back for our fourth and final part of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. What I always say, too, when people say, what was your favorite concert you went to? The last one. It's the one that's freshest in my mind. The last one I went to was Paul McCartney. Whoa. And the next one, I'm going to see Ghost with Rob and Andy. We're concert buddies. We have kind of the same taste in music. Fitz, too, and Kyle. Got a lot of rockers here at Vaughn Radio. Oh, yeah. We rock. What can we say? Lo has pillado, molamos, we rock. All right, not that funny. Not that funny. But you guys definitely rock. I'm really, really proud of you. How you not only participate, how you not only sound good, but that you take the time, to think about what you want to say, to get your thoughts clear, to grab your phone, to hit record, and, spill your guts, no contar cosas desde tu alma. Whether today it's not as deep, but it is deep. Because we're talking about concerts. We're talking about people. We're talking about company. We haven't mentioned too many bands, have we? But we have mentioned the people we were with. That's the key. I think that's the thing. If we take one thing from today's question of the week, wherever you're going, whether it's Disney World or to go see, AC/DC, the people are what make it or can make it the greatest night of your life. All right, amigos, it's time for today's Double Trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said
triple trouble. Don't listen to the jingle. It's triple trouble today, folks. Oh my God. Triple trouble. Good luck. You've got to use the same word 3 times. Okay. ¿Le vas a devolver la llamada? Tienes que decidir. Si no, vamos a cancelarlo. All right? Oh, I know you love a good challenge. So, ¿le vas a devolver la llamada? Tienes que decidir. Si no, vamos a cancelarlo. All right. One more time, because sometimes people say, what was it again? ¿Le vas a devolver la llamada? Pregunta, ¿no? ¿Le vas a devolver la llamada? Tienes que decidir. Si no, vamos a cancelarlo. All right, that's your triple trouble. You have to use the same word 3 times. All right, here's your Say What soundbite, folks, for the 4th time. We'll see if any other students can join Elena and Laura.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Once upon a time, a master storyteller, Walt Disney, inspired by Europe's best-loved tales, used his own special gifts to share them with the world. He envisioned a magic kingdom where these stories would come to life and called it Disneyland.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información.
Oxford Test of English. Con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
More information at grupovon.com. All right, let's continue with some more question of the week entries because I see nobody has figured out our triple trouble yet. So we're going to hear from Marisol.
Hi, it's Marisol. The best concert I've ever been to was the singer-songwriter José Luis Figueiredo, known as El Barrio. His songs are catchy and powerful. They explain some happenings that occur in real life, plus combine it with the flamenco pop music that he uses. It makes his style just hugely impressive. I've been 4 times in my life to his concerts in different environments, outdoors like on a football field and indoors like El Palau Sant Jordi in Barcelona. And all of them were remarkable. The musicians and the stereo equipment he brings with him are professionals. Even if you don't know the lyrics of the songs, you can understand them perfectly. If you like this type of music, I enormously recommend it. It's speechless, personally speaking. Greetings to our show Namers. Bye.
All right, Marisol. Great. El Barrio. Gonna check him out. Thank you. And she is an avid fan. She goes to see El Barrio every time they come to town, every time he comes to town. And what's cool is she said this, and we were talking about that too. Like Laura said, the Royal Albert Hall, the venue is important too. You know, there are places in the United States, Red Rock, which is out in the desert, and you see a concert at an amphitheater in the desert where there are red rocks, thus the name. So I imagine, you know, seeing the same concert in Palacio de Deportes or there, it would change quite a bit, right? Also, there's a new concert venue in Las Vegas called The Sphere. And it has these projection screens. It is, if you have not seen it, check it out. The Sphere, La Esfera. En inglés se escribe S-P-H-E-R-E. Sfere. Okay. So yeah, it makes a big difference if it's outdoors, indoors. The sound quality is not the same. I mean, just think about it. Is the sound quality the same at a festival than as a normal gig, you know, in a place? Because you can control the sound, no matter how bad or good the acoustics are, you can at least, you know, control those other factors. If you're outside and it starts to rain, that makes noise. Now you got to turn everything up, right? So and electric equipment and rain doesn't mix, as we know, right? We don't want to get any electrocutions, but I'm sure it's happened before. So yeah, the venue is very, very important. For example, I don't do festivals too much anymore because there's usually one band or two bands that I want to see, and the rest of the time I'm just like, why am I here with all these young people? I'm sorry. It's true, though. And the worst is now when I look at the lineups of festivals, the lineups es el cartel. I'm like, who the fuck is it? What? Huh? Johnny Jello. Who the hell's Johnny Jello? Never heard of him. Oh, my God. Jello written with no E, you know, made to look modern. All right, let's take a look over here. Great job, though, Marisol. And it's so true. The venue is important as well. It makes it magical or just another concert. Let's see. Chris Valrol's participating in our Triple Trouble. She says, are you going to call him back? Fijaos como lo he dicho. He dicho him o him. Are you going to call him? Porque es muy difícil hacer esa H. Vamos a ser honestos. Are you going to call him back? You have to make a call. Okay, you have to make a call or you have to make the call. Pero lo acepto because it makes sense in context. You have to make the call, right? Como un árbitro. You make the call. Tú pitas, tú tomas la decisión, no? That's where it comes from, the expression. But I made a call and it was a bad call. So it is correct, Chris. Just explaining, there's another way to say it as well. So you have to make a call. You have to make a decision. If not, we'll call it off. Wonderful. Also, Laura, are you going to call him back? It's your call. Tú lo pitas. Tú lo pitas. I think that's, hey, ref, that was a bad call. Mala decisión, right? So it would be a synonym for decision. It's your call. Otherwise, we'll call it off. I say potato, you say potato, potato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off. All right, Open Water says, are you going to call him back? You have to take a call. No, not to take a call. To take a call is aceptar una llamada. Mr. Jones, are you available to take a call? Yeah, I can take the call. Okay, put me through, conéctame. So not to take a call, pero está bien, porque ahora hacemos ese ajuste. You'll have to make a call. You'll have to make the call. It's your call. Decides tú. All right, es tu decisión. Remember, call there is a decision. Think of a referee. The referee. Y la expresión, I call it like I see it. Lo pito como lo veo. Okay, mis decisiones vienen basados en, in other words, saying, I don't have favorites here. I call it like I see it. Okay, really good. It's another use of this call, right? Of the verb call. So wonderful job, everybody. Elena says, are you going to call him back? It's your call, or else we'll call it a day. Great idiomatic expression. Similar, call it a day is terminar, irnos a casa. So it could be different. No tiene que ser porque se ha cancelado algo, como si acaba. But it's a great one. Let's call it a day means vámonos a casita, right? Es lo que se dice al final. We're going to call it off means no va a pasar, lo vamos a dejar para otro día, okay? And that comes from that too. He's going to call off the game. Su decisión es aplazar. So again, that call is such a deep one. Tiene mucha profundidad. It's your call. Decides tú. You've got to make the call. Tienes que decidir tú. What a wonderful job, folks. Excellent. All right, let's continue with some more students. We're going to hear from Nuria.
Dear advertents of winner namers, this is Nuria, and it's my pleasure to share with you all the question of this week. It was in my hometown, Vigo, 2 years ago. I know it was a long time since then, but I keep really good memories of it due to the fact that we had the opportunity to attend a concert of Sting, and it was music to my ears. I say we because I went with part of my family there, and that made that concert the best. We had a whale of a time. It should be noted that it was completely free of charge. Let me explain why. In summer, the City Council organizes free concerts in the stunning Castrelos Outdoor Auditorium, and Sting formed part of the concerts that year, and it was a delightful experience. If you go there in summer, it's a must-see. Thank you.
You remember me and this jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. As we walk in fields of gold. Well, I've got to tell you something. First, I'm moving to Vigo. You have free concerts and Sting is there? Are you serious? It's not Paquito el Chocolatero. Jesus. I'm going to Vigo. I'm packing my bags. That's the kind of talent you bring? Oh, my God. The bar is really high. Sting. Oh, my goodness. Well, you want to know something? We have a little connection there because Sting was actually my favorite something. Well, he's old, it's more pop. It's más pop en vez de rock. It was more that. And then I saw him in concert. And Sting was the first, because he was the opening band, Telonero. So Sting was literally the first performer I ever saw, también debería decir, on stage. And I'll never forget. So it doesn't matter. That's another thing you said. It was a long time ago. Doesn't matter. Every time I hear, when we walk in fields of gold, I know exactly where I was sitting. I can see him. So, and guess who is a Sting fan? Since that day, I'm like, oh, no. He just filled the stadium with his voice, his bass guitar, su bajo. So great. Excellent, excellent stuff. We're all packing our bags and we're going to Vigo. All right, let's see who's up next. Wonderful job, everyone. We've got Open Waters. This is the first time Open Waters has participated, so let's give it a listen.
Hello, friends. This is Open Water Swimmer. Well, it's hard for me to pick the best concert I've ever been to. If I were forced to pick only one, I would say the Pixies in Lisbon in 2003, because there are a few things that made it very special. This group broke up around 1992, and this was that kind of bands that become more and more popular after they break up, like, for example, the Ramones. Also, this is the kind of music that the more you listen to it, the more you like it. And then, out of the blue, one year around 2002, they dropped the bombshell that they will gather again. So you can imagine what was for me to watch them live in concert. It was so thrilling. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Excellent job, Open Waters. Yeah. The Pixies. Oh, man. Francis Black, the Pixies. Gotta love the Pixies. They were in Madrid at the Botanical Gardens, I think, last year. I tried to get tickets. I couldn't. I love the Pixies. But he's right, too. He's like, when bands break up, well, all of a sudden there's a huge demand to see them. And some people say that they break up and have a reunion just to make more money. But I don't think Guns N' Roses did that, for example. I think literally they hated each other. They broke up. I'm giving you the example of Guns N' Roses. They split up. And in fact, when they said, do you guys ever see each other working together? I can't remember if they asked Slash or Axl Rose. You know what he said? He says, not in this fucking lifetime. ¿Sabes cómo se llamó? You know what the reunion tour was called? I was there. Not in this fucking lifetime. O sea que nunca va a pasar. And it happened. So that happened recently with Oasis too. I know they're quite popular. Cuidado con la pronunciación. You said popular. It's popular. La U se dice como you, como tú. And something you want to say, algo te empieza a gustar más y más cada vez. We say the phrasal verb, it grows on you. I didn't like Sting at first, but then his music started to grow on me. All right, excellent job, Open Waters. We're also going to hear from Paco.
Hi there. What's crack-a-lacking? It's Paco from Cádiz. Regarding the question of the week, Alberto, despite the fact that I don't consider myself a concert goer buff, friends roped me into attending Melendi's last concert in Cádiz. To tell the truth, it was really riveting, and the atmosphere was really majestic and astounding. To tell the truth, to be honest, Melendi rose to the challenge, and he was at the top of his game. My impression was that he took the world by storm. My friends and me got a kick off of the concert. The venue was really cozy. We had a field day. By no stretch of my imagination, I pictured myself in that situation. Nevertheless, as luck would have it, I was really fortunate that my friends won me over to attend the concert, and from that moment, I consider myself one of Melendi's fans. When the next concert comes, without a shadow of a doubt, I will be there. That will be all. Kudos to your mom, because she has a really soothing voice and really revel in the program that you broadcast with your mom. Alberto, have a lovely weekend.
All right, great job, Paco. Wonderful. That's great too. Andrea Vaughn did that with me and with Muse. She says, you got to listen to this band. And she invited me over and we watched a video. And the next thing I knew, I was attending Muse concerts thanks to Andrea. So that's always great when a friend introduces us to a certain band as well. Rob Grams has introduced me to many, many bands. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's Chris Valrol.
Morning, Shannon-amers. It's Chris Valrol. Every concert is a unique experience, so it's really tough to choose only one. But I'm gonna go with a Ramon Thins concert I attend with my high school friends a long time ago. Aside from the musical quality, there was a funny situation, and I remember it fondly. I was hot, and I took off my jumper and put it on my belly. So it was bulging out under my t-shirt. There were some really nice metalheads next to us who started to making room for me because they thought I was pregnant. It was really funny / lovely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Chris, wonderful, wonderful. And what I love there too is, Chris, you know, those are those little moments. Do you remember when this happened? Remember that? Those little moments that make a concert funny or special, those memories. Just be careful with attended. We attended, con ede, and I love how you pronounced situation. All right, let's move right into famous birthdays. The first birthday boy was born today in 1946. This guy was an American actor and producer who passed away in 2017. You can see him in Cutter's Way. Beaches, not bitches, Beaches. He was also in The Sopranos, Big, Awakenings, Despertares, vaya peliculones, Big and Awakenings, The Pelican Brief, White Chicks, and he also played Peter McAllister in Home Alone and Home Alone 2, the dad. I'm sure you've heard of him. Number 2, this person was born in 1943, an English singer, songwriter, and bass player like Sting. And he rose to prominence as the bass guitarist and occasional lead vocalist of the rock band, The Zombies. The Zombies. No, we don't say zombie, we say zombies. You can learn that one from the Cranberry song. Zombie, zombie, hey, hey, what's in your head? Right? But no, not that one. This one, the band is the Zombies. You might know the song, It's the Time of the Season for Loving. Great song. And last but not least, American businessman, former CEO of the Walt Disney Company from 1984 to 2005. Let's put it this way. This is a person people love to hate. Yeah, he's controversial because people hate him because he was kind of like a dictator, but also, you know, a lot of Disney was doing very well under him as well. So it's kind of that, there are videos on the internet where people just hate on this guy. And there are other videos that are like, wow, he really turned the company around when they were going through a difficult time. So I guess it depends if you worked for him or not. But this guy, man, he almost lost everything on Euro Disney, as it was called. Now it's called Disneyland Paris. All right, today's famous birthdays. Number 1, John Hurd. I tried to give you a clue. Maybe you've heard of him. John Hurd. John Oyo. Then you've got Chris White from the Zombies, and then you've got Michael Eisner. There's books written about Michael Eisner, one of these mega president, CEO, businessmen, and controversial figure, but he got things done, it seems. All right, and that's going to bring us to today's Say What soundbite. This is Michael Eisner inaugurating Euro Disney, or as it's called now, Disneyland Paris.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Once upon a time, a master storyteller, Walt Disney, inspired by Europe's best-loved tales, used his own special gifts to share them with the world. he envisioned a magic kingdom where these stories would come to life and called it Disneyland.
That's right, amigos. And I'm going to bring you right in to name that lyric. No need for a jingle because we're out of time. But thank you very much. Today's song, Time of the Season by the Zombies. And as I said, folks, thank you so much. The best students in the world. Sing it with me. This is a fun one.
It's the time of the season when love runs high in the sky. Give it to me easy and let me try with leisured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone it's the time of the season for loving. Ooh. Ah. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Here we go, you.
What's your name? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he taken any time to show